Alright, everybody. You looking for some adventure that you can run, don't need much prep, maybe you're just a new DM? Adventure Archon here. You're going to want to check this out. I just whipped up this easy little dungeon. Doesn't take much to set it up, and your player's going to have a good time. Now, what we got here is a goblin cave. Some goblins, maybe they captured somebody, stole something. Doesn't really matter. They're in there. Party needs to get in there. Kill them. So now we got the party. They've shown up at the cave entrance. There's a guard dog there, pet of the goblins. That's going to be their first obstacle. This whole thing is kind of modeled after the 5-room dungeon concept. You maybe have heard of it. But anyway, guardian right at the front there. Doesn't have to be a dog. Could be a big bug. Could be a lizard. Could be anything. Doesn't matter. Something's there. They need to get past it. All right, now let's go over. Let's check out the goblins. There they are. They're working on getting this rock out of that tunnel you can see down there. They go into the tunnel, they put that rock there to block the path. Now they jammed it in there too hard, so they're trying to get it out. There's the captive. Could be anybody. It could be a merchant. Could be, who knows, somebody's husband got killed. Maybe it's an old lady. Maybe it's a kid. Could be a couple captives. You decide. Okay, so we're back at the entrance. Players take care of the dog. Maybe they gave it some food, tamed it. Now they're going through, entering into the cave, running into their first little puzzle obstacle here. We got a bottomless pit. They're going to try to find a way across. Now, I set a ladder on the other side you can see there. Maybe they're going to try to get a grappling hook, pull that ladder over, use that to cross. Maybe they're going to cut down a tree. Maybe they got a spell, levitation, something that they can get across. You create the situation, they figure it out. You don't have to create a solution for them, right? They're smart players. They're going to figure it out. All right, so in this situation, the players got a dead tree, laid it across. Now they're over. Problem solved, on to the next thing. Here we go, we're going to be going into the frog lair. Obviously, I'm not going to have the frogs sitting there when they come over. They're going to have some garbage laying on these rocks here, maybe some corpses or something that they're going to want to go check out. Got to give them a little bait to get them to go exploring. All right, so here they go, walking up to the water, and what, of course, is going to happen? Frog's going to pop out and snatch one of them. So here we go. Boom! Frog pops out of the water. Now it's on. Now listen, it doesn't have to be a frog. Just use what you got. Maybe you have a crab or something. Look, I got a little crab here. I could use a crab. Anything that's going to be hiding in the water that makes sense a little bit. It's going to be a good time. Just make the fight dynamic. Make it exciting. Definitely want to encourage you guys. Just use whatever miniatures you got. Look, I got a little toy lizard. Here he goes. But in this situation, I'm sticking with the frog. Okay, so frog pops out of the water immediately. Going on the attack. It's got its eggs down in the corner there, right there, and so we need to defend those eggs. Frog comes down through into these tunnels to lay its eggs. That's the whole idea here. Look it, frog's ready to go. Boom. Now, as soon as he comes out of the water, he's immediately snatching one of those fools. He's grabbed the fighter there. He's got him in the mouth. Fighter can't fight back. Maybe suppose strength check. You decide how you want to roll with that. Now they kill the frog, and they're going in to explore. Here they're going to go up. Check out the corpses first. You decide what's in there. Maybe it's some treasure. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just an old pile of bones. Maybe there's an old map in there. Little clues leading on to the next adventure. Maybe it's hints about something else that's going on in the cave. Wizard wants to go check out the frog eggs. Maybe he wants to harvest some of those eggs. Create a potion. Maybe it's a component for a magical spell. All right, so we're done with the frog, heading on to the next part of the adventure. Here we go into the mushroom cavern. Maybe there's some spores in there. The mushrooms are letting off magical spores that are going to mess with the PC's heads. Maybe it's going to give them some kind of boost and make them hallucinate at the same time. Maybe there isn't any spores. Maybe one of the mushrooms comes to life and starts talking to them like some kind of mushroom folk. And if that's the case, maybe this entire cavern system used to be occupied by these mushroom folk, and now they're pissed off at the goblins because they killed all their little babies and harvested all the mushrooms, and now they want to take revenge, so they're going to do whatever they can to help the PCs. And whatever the case, now we're moving on to the next part of the dungeon. Now, I definitely suggest, as they're moving up these tunnels, those goblins are not being quiet, right? They don't think they were followed. They don't anticipate anybody else being in these tunnels. So they're going to be making all kinds of noise, yelling at each other. The leader's going to be screaming at the goblins to hurry up and move the rock. Of course, he's not going to lift a finger because that's not his job. But right as they're coming around, you see that goblin archer. That's going to be the first thing that they're going to spot, right? And then a little bit past that, you can see the captive. Now, the captive is sitting there. And like I said, it can be any kind of captive. I had an idea. Maybe it was some kind of herbalist lady that was out in the woods. She got captured by the goblins because they want her to heal their sick chieftain. The goblin chieftain's sick. They see her with medicine. They're like, boom, we're going to bring her back and she's going to fix the goblin chief and we're all going to get promoted. So that's the whole plan. But in this case, I just said, whatever, it's going to be a captive. Maybe it's a blood sacrifice. You decide what reason they had to bring them in there. Okay, so this is where we're going with a Runehammer technique called timers. You can see I rolled the D4 up there, and we got 3 rounds. That means in 3 rounds, that Goblin Guard and the Captive is going to kick them down that bottomless pit, and they are dead. It's over. So the players got 3 rounds in order to save that Captive before he's gone for good. Now, maybe they're not going to save the Captive. Doesn't mean the adventure's over completely. Just means they're going to have to move on to something else. Just go loot the crate. So here we are. They moved in, round 1. One little goblin goes down. The leaders are moving in. Everybody's swarming. You don't want to leave those goblins. There's no reason for them to guard that rock and keep trying to pull on it when the battle's on. Otherwise, everybody's going down. So that's the first round. Now we're ticking down the timer. We got 2 rounds. 2 rounds left before that captive is dead. Now use the terrain to try to spice up the combat here. Maybe the goblins are going to try to pull one of the players and kick them down the pit. Maybe the players want to kick somebody down into that pit. So this round, fighter goes down, a couple more goblins go down, and it's just condensing in. The lieutenant and the goblin leader are moving in. Oh, lieutenant goes down. Right at the last second, the wizard launches off a magic missile, kills the goblin guard and the captive. The barbarian gets into a rage. Boom, chops off the head of the goblin leader, and then they feed a potion to the fighter. He's back on his feet. Now it's time to explore the cave and go rescue that captive, find out what his deal is. Now, you could use this to try to expand the adventure. Maybe the captive was actually sold to the goblins by somebody in town or somebody that he knows, and now you're going to have to go deal with that situation. Also, they got the mushrooms in there. They can go take a look at the mushrooms, dig into that garbage pile that the goblins have been leaving there over the years. Also, they want to go check out that chest that's sitting in the corner that they were going to go drag down to the tunnels. And now this chest probably isn't going to be trapped, right? Goblins aren't very smart. They're not leaving any traps on chests, especially ones that they're going to be carrying around. So the fighter is exploring the chest. Barbarian and the wizard, they want to go check out this rubbish pile, see what's in there. And the ranger, they're going to go take a look at these mushrooms, maybe try to do some kind of nature check, find out what they are. So this is just a fun part of the adventure where they can let the captive go, set up that ladder that the goblins have been using, and have him escape onto his own out to the village. And maybe they want to go deeper into the tunnels. Maybe they're going to go try to move this rock and go down deeper into the tunnels. So if that's what they want to do, you're probably not going to have it ready. And you say, hey, you know what, everybody? I don't have that prep. If that's where you want to go, all right, we're going to end the session here. If you want to head back to town, go sell some stuff, go buy some supplies, I'll get those goblin tunnels prepared for next time. Now, once again, I'm the Adventure Archon, bringing you nice, quick adventures that you can run with miniatures and terrain. If you like this content, please go down, subscribe, leave a comment. If you ran this adventure, let me know how it turned out down in the comments. Whatever you do, get out there and adventure more often.